Under the radiant sun of Nkwa, joy dances through the air. The Odomankoma River glimmers nearby as drums echo across the valley, a celebration of abundance, unity, and life. The people move as one. Laughter, rhythm, and color blended like woven cloth. And there, among the cheers, a young man rises above the crowd. Osei, the village's pride, locks in a test of strength. Dust swirls as his rival falls. Elder Kofi lifts Osei's hand high. The crowd erupts in thunderous praise. Young women smile shyly. Old men nod in pride. But somewhere beyond the joy, unseen eyes watch. Quiet, apart. For not every soul in Inikwa feels the warmth of victory today. Away from the sound of drums lies a hut, small, humble, and still. Here sits Kwaku, and steady, weaving a basket with the patience of earth itself. Through his small window, he can hear the world rejoicing. Yet he remains within, alone with the rhythm of his craft. The faint echo of celebration drifts through the air, teasing him with what he does not have. Then comes Aso, gentle, kind. She brings food, and with it, quiet understanding. Their eyes meet. Her compassion soft, his heart uncertain. She touches his shoulder, but his silence speaks louder than words. In his hands, a basket. In his chest, the ache of being unseen. The drums still beat as Kwaku steps out, drawn toward the sound. From the edge of the crowd, he watches as Osei lifts a heavy log to wild applause. He smiles, faintly, admiration touched by envy. Whispers rise nearby, mocking tones that cut deep. Just a weaver, someone says. He turns away, hiding the sting behind a weak smile. Osei waves, full of light, but Kwaku cannot wave back for long. He retreats slowly, the golden glow of the festival fading behind him, leaving only shadows, dust, and the silence of his thoughts. Back at his hut, the world feels smaller. The half-woven basket lies across his knees, its pattern tangled like his heart. In a bowl of water, his reflection ripples, unsure, distorted. He murmurs softly, just a weaver. Then, the drums stop. Silence, sudden, heavy, unnatural. Kwaku looks up. Even the trees seem to hold their breath. Something vast and unseen is stirring. A shift in the air that whispers of judgment and change. The sky darkens. Clouds twist above Nkwa, violet and gray, swallowing the light. The laughter dies as fear spreads like wildfire. Crops wither before the people's eyes. The Odomankoma River shrinks, the ground cracking in thirst. Then, thunder. The heavens open, revealing a face of pure power. Niame, the Sky Father. His golden eyes blaze with fury. Children of Earth, his voice rumbles, you have forgotten humility. Villagers fall to their knees, trembling. Elder Kofi's voice breaks in prayer. When the light fades, the land lies broken. A silence heavier than storm, a warning carved in dust. The village trembles with fear. Men whisper, mothers weep. The young stare at the dead fields in despair. Through the crowd walks Kwaku, slow, uncertain, then sure. Something burns in his eyes now, a spark of purpose. He steps into the center of the square, defying the silence. Elder Kofi reaches to stop him, but Kwaku shakes free. His voice rises. If no one will face the gods, I will. Thunder growls in answer. The clouds twist again. Nieme's immense face returns, half amused, half wrathful. Visions swirl in the heavens. The python, the leopard, the sky ram, challenges of divine measure. And as the light fades, Kwaku stands alone, trembling, yet unbroken. The crowd watches, breathless, as destiny claims him. Evening settles over Nkwa. Orange skies fading into smoke and silence. Fear lingers in the air. Despair spreads like ash. Elder Kofi shakes his head, the weight of failure heavy in his eyes. But amid the murmurs, Osei steps forward, strong, loyal. He stands beside Kwaku, silent but sure. Aso's eyes glisten as she joins them, her hand finding his. Together, they walk toward Kwaku's hut, while the crowd parts, uncertain yet hopeful. In the hush, a single truth echoes. Sometimes, courage begins quietly. Inside the hut, the only light comes from a flickering oil lamp. Its glow dances over baskets hanging like ghosts of his doubt. Kwaku sits, head bowed, heart weary. Aso kneels beside him, calm, steady, full of grace. Her voice is soft but strong. Your gift was never small, Kwaku. You were chosen to weave more than baskets. She presses a small bundle into his hands. Thread, food, and faith. His fingers tremble as he looks at them, tools of both survival and destiny. And in the quiet, something changes. Resolve begins to take roots. Dawn breaks over a shrouded forest, mist curling between ancient trees. Kwaku stands at its edge, pack on his back, fear in his chest. He breathes deeply and steps forward, swallowed by shadow. The air hums with life, whispers, wings, unseen eyes. Each step echoes against the unknown. Light fades from gold to silver, and the deeper he goes, the louder his heart becomes. The weaver has left the village behind and entered the realm of gods. Deep within the forest, sunlight drips through branches like liquid gold. Kwaku moves carefully, reading the signs: crushed grass, broken bark, and a skin long as a man's dream, hanging from a tree. His fingers trace the pattern, smooth, cold, ancient. Then, a hiss. From the shadows, two eyes ignite like embers. The great python shifts, immense and coiled, power in every ripple. Kwaku freezes. The forest holds its breath. Here, one wrong move means death. And yet, the weaver does not run. The forest becomes his workshop. Vines become rope, leaves his tools, patience his ally. He weaves swiftly, a decoy in the python's image, covered in its old skin, filled with leaves. When all is set, he hides among the branches. Hours pass, shadows stretching. Then the python glides out, silent, regal, deadly. It strikes the decoy. The trap collapses in a hiss of confusion. Kwaku leaps down, collecting the venom that drips from its fangs. He seals the gourd and whispers, "One." A faint laugh echoes, not human. He turns, heart pounding. The forest only stares back. The sound of water returns, a waterfall crowned in gold mist. Upon the rocks, the leopard king lies, strong, sorrowful, alone. His eyes are heavy with loss. Kwaku watches from afar, his heart softening. He sees the paw prints of corpses long gone, the marks of battles fought and wounds unhealed. He whispers, almost in prayer, "You've lost them too, haven't you?" The leopard lifts its head. Their eyes meet, two souls sharing silence. No fear, only understanding. And for the first time, Kwaku's courage feels like compassion. By the river's edge, the morning light glitters like shreds of silver. Kwaku kneels beside the stream, gathering reeds and soft grass. His fingers move gently, weaving not for defense, but for comfort. Each motion carries meaning, each strand a prayer for peace. He shapes a tiny den, delicate, safe, beautiful. A single tear falls onto it as he whispers, "Even the broken deserve rest." He places it upon a stone near the leopard's lair and hides behind the rocks. Stillness fills the air, as if even the forest waits to see what he has done. The sun sets in molten amber. The leopard king prowls through the clearing, proud, yet wounded by memory. He stops, sniffing the air, his gaze catching the woven den. A pause, then slowly he approaches. His paw touches the creation, soft, warm, familiar. His eyes glisten, trembling with recognition of what was lost. A sound escapes him, a broken growl that turns into grief. He lowers his head, tears falling onto the woven home. Hidden behind the stones, Kwaku watches silently, his heart heavy and full. When the leopard finally retreats, Kwaku steps forward, lifting the tear-soaked den with reverence. He murmurs, "Tulu." The wind sighs through the trees, the forest bearing witness. Moonlight spills like milk across the forest floor. The air shimmers. Faint laughter drifts between the trees. Kwaku turns sharply, eyes wide. From a branch above, she appears. Mawatia, the forest spirit, small, radiant, her laughter like wind chimes. She tilts her head, studying him with mischief and wisdom. Without a word, she pulls a glowing strand from her hair, its light shifting between gold and blue. In slow motion, she tosses it into the air. It floats toward him, humming with magic. Kwaku catches it gently, the light pulsing between his fingers. He looks up. She's gone. Only dust and seeds swirling in her place. Softly he whispers, "If I cannot reach the sky, I'll weave a path to it." The forest glows, then fades into stillness. Dawn crowns the mountain peaks, the sky painted with rose and silver. Kwaku stands above the clouds, the air thin and holy. Before him, a vast net gleams, woven from Mawatia's glowing strand. He fastens it between three ancient trees, then kneels, waiting, heart steady. Hours pass. The wind hums. Then, thunder murmurs softly as the clouds part. Descending from the mist, the sky ram appears, radiant, divine. Its hooves sparkle with starlight. Its horns glow like crystal. It lands, grazing peacefully until the net falls. A flash of struggle, a crack of light. One horn snaps free, tumbling to the ground. The ram pauses, eyes meeting Kwaku's. No hatred, only acknowledgement. Then, it bounds skyward, vanishing into the clouds. Kwaku kneels, clutching the shimmering horn to his chest. His whisper cuts through the wind. Tree. And for the first time, he smiles. Not in victory, but in peace. The sun hung low over Nkwa, veiled in dust and silence. Where once laughter rang, now only wind whispered across barren fields. A lone figure appeared at the gate, weary, dust-cloaked, carrying the weight of his journey. Kwaku. Children saw him first, their eyes wide, hearts uncertain, until one dared to run forward. Then another, and another. The crowd gathered, disbelief giving way to wonder. Osei broke through the throng and wrapped his arms around him, brother to brother, soul to soul. Kwaku opened his pack, and from within, light returned. A gourd, still glistening with sacred tears. The den, wrapped in woven cloth, and the pearlescent horn, radiant, alive. Gasps filled the air, and slowly, color crept back into the world. Faces brightened, hearts lifted, the music of hope rising once more in the land of the Nkwa. Night descended like silver over the village. Under the watch of a full moon, Nkwa gathered once again, torches flickering, drums silent. At the center stood Kwaku. Before him, the sacred items, humble yet divine, resting upon woven mat. He lifted his gaze to the heavens. "Nyami," he called, voice steady, "you have tested man's heart. Now see its truth." Thunder split the sky. Clouds churned, and from them, the god's face emerged, vast, furious, magnificent. The crowd trembled. Mothers clutched their children. Even the earth seemed to hold its breath. But Kwaku did not move. Lightning flashed, his shadow cast long and unwavering. "Man is not your plaything," he said. "He is your image, flawed but reaching." The storm raged, but something shifted. Niame's eyes softened, not with defeat, but with understanding. Then came the rain, not the flood of wrath, but the blessing of renewal. It fell upon the fields, the roofs, the people. Laughter bursting from every heart. The sky cleared. Ose shouted with joy as the people lifted Kwaku high, not as a warrior, but as a bridge between heaven and earth. And for the first time, even the gods were silent in reverence. Dawn. The river that once ran dry now shimmered with life. Silver threads weaving through green fields. Kwaku sat by its edge, quiet, still. He lifted his hands to the light, tracing the lines that told the story of where he had been and who he had become. Aso approached softly, sitting beside him. No words, only presence. For some truths live in silence. She reached for his hand and whispered a single word. Anansi. A spider's web shimmered between reeds, jeweled with dew, a mirror of the great design. Kwaku smiled faintly, seeing not just the web, but the pattern of destiny itself. The village of Nkwa breathed again. Color spilled across its market stalls. Laughter bounced between walls of clay, and the air carried the scent of harvest. By the river's edge, an old woman struggled with a torn fishing net. Kwaku knelt beside her. "Let me help," he said softly. His fingers worked with quiet grace, weaving, mending, restoring. A simple act, yet divine in its rhythm. Ose passed with his friends, smiling proudly, not at the hero who defied the gods, but at the man who chose humility. And Kwaku, the wanderer, the weaver, smiled back, at peace in the life he had reclaimed. As the market quieted, the old woman asked, "Tell me, son, what truly happened out there?" Kwaku looked up, eyes bright with memory and mirth. He chuckled softly, shaking his head. "I'll tell you," he said, "but it's quite a story." The camera lingered on his face, wisdom wrapped in warmth, mystery in his smile. And in that moment, a legend was born. Not in temples or scrolls, but in the voice of a man who had lived what others only dared to dream. Evening gold bathed Nkwa. Smoke curled lazily from hearts. Children's laughter floated on the breeze, and drums returned. No longer for war or worship, but for joy. Kwaku finished the net, handing it to the grateful old woman. Then, with a quiet heart, he walked toward his hut, toward peace. He paused at the doorway and looked up. The first stars glimmered above. A spider drifted down beside him, spinning its silver thread in the twilight air. He smiled, whispering, "So, you were watching all along." The camera rose, lifting above him, above the huts, the river, the green, reborn land. From the heavens, Nkwa stretched like a woven tapestry. Life, light, and story intertwined. The stars merged into constellations, threads of light forming a shape eternal. And from the cosmos, a whisper, the weaver of wisdom, Anansi. The drums fade too, but the rhythm remains in the heart of every listener, in every story yet to be told. The weaver of wisdom, Anansi. Kindly view, subscribe, share, comment, and like.